Okay, guys, so I think we are live online. We are streaming to you all. So a couple of quick things. We're going to be covering all aspects of digital marketing today, and we're going to be looking at specifically how you guys can generate leads. So if you can see me and you can see my screen, one of my key focuses is to really make sure that you guys are not wasting time. One of the biggest challenges in business today, and I see this all day long, is time and tech. So these are the pitfalls that I want to head off at the pass, make sure that you guys are obviously not falling into any traps, but also, from my journey, I've worked in digital since the internet began. So for me, it's not just about teaching digital marketing and writing about it. We are real life practitioners. So everybody in my team is involved in some way in digital marketing. And this is so, so important. So if you consider how the internet began and where we are in business today, it's huge. You know, if you think about the technology today, you know, we are doing a webinar, we have obviously mobile phones, we can be watching this literally anywhere in the world. So, you know, if I go onto Facebook at any given time, I can join live streams, I can see different webinars, I can, you know, go on and look at different content. And you can see from here that there is a huge, huge difference in terms of how businesses have evolved. And, you know, in some cases, this has been a really positive thing, but unfortunately for some businesses, they've not kept up with technology. And you know what? It's generally down to the fact that we are experts in our own field, right? Now, thankfully, my field is digital marketing, so it's 10 times easier to keep up to date. But you imagine, obviously, for everybody in the world, soon as business went online, what happens? Everyone has to get up to speed. But literally, you know, if you think about where marketing is, I always say marketing has changed more in the past 2 years than it has in the past 50. So think about it, you know, where does that leave many of us in terms of, you know, you catch up with a strategy, you try something, and then it stops working. So often people have been using things like email marketing, they've been using social media, but as with anything, you know, these platforms change, new technology comes out, and it feels like literally every single day you've got something new to look at. So if you think about for your own business, what this means to you. So for me, we're going to do a really interactive live Q&A, and I want you to get involved in activities. I want you to think about what it means for you as a business and how you can change. Now, today's live masterclass, as I say, is about more leads, more sales, and more money. And ultimately, every single business is here for the same thing. And the goals in our business and the objectives for our business tend to be around three main things. And that is ultimately always striving to improve performance, productivity, and profit for your business. And, you know, for me, it's about quantifying what time you are spending and what results you're getting. Now, we've worked with clients for the past 20 years and looking at different digital strategies for every single type of niche. And one thing is true. Everybody wants to improve their return on investment, because for every ounce of effort that you put in, you want to be recognizing a really good return. So you'll see that you have a chat area, and I'll be checking in with you throughout. This is interactive. You know, the great thing with these live sessions is it's two-way. You know, you'll get as much out of me as possible in terms of this 90 minutes. We're going to do a 60-minute masterclass, and we're going to have a Q&A after. I want to make sure that I cover every single question, and the more I know about you and your businesses, the better. So if you can just give me a quick yes in the chat box, just to let me know that you can see my screen and you can indeed see me in the video. So what we're going to do is we're going to start off with looking at a couple of key things. Now, for me in business, it's about kind of striving forward. As I say, every day there's a different tool, there's a different technology, and often people find digital marketing quite daunting. It's common that I will meet businesses who are so skilled in the world of marketing but have less experience in digital, and then they're slowly moving into this digital transformation. So For me, the focus always is about freeing up your time, spending less effort and obviously less money, but getting more leads and more sales and more profit. So you have to think very clearly about where you are now. Now, ultimately, for our business, we generate a lead every 8 minutes. Now, that level is obviously something that we choose to be at, that suits us. I mean, for every business, it's going to be really different, okay? So you imagine that, you could turn it on and turn it off, right? You imagine you could literally generate a lead at whatever level you wanted. Now, that is absolutely possible. The unfortunate thing is some of these digital tools do not make it really straightforward, okay? So what happens? Well, ultimately, in the world of digital marketing, we are focused on two things. Now, that is getting whatever promotional activity out and then generating a sale. Now, I want you to turn it on its head and think slightly differently, because this is all about how you can change the way that you market. Now, for me, I look at my time and I am focused on the strategic side. So as much as obviously we need practitioners in digital, these principles I'm going to share with you really reduce that time of investment. And this is all about creating something and making sure that it's serving you again and again. And it's about utilizing your content and monetizing it. So anyone who doesn't want to spend less time, doesn't want to spend less effort and less money, this masterclass is not for you. But the good news is, if you are in and you want more leads, more sales, and more profit, I'm going to show you exactly how to do that. Now, as I say, I've worked in digital for 20 odd years. Now, if you think about where the internet has evolved and where it's pushed us to now, that's changed massively. But where's it going to be in the future? So I'm going to kind of give you the heads up of what's not just happened, what's working now, but what the trends, the insights and tools are going to be for 2020. It is so important you've got your finger in the pulse, because if you take advantage of something that's new and you get ahead of your competitors, that's where we all want to sit. So that's when sort of online marketing becomes very powerful. So this is how today is going to work. We are going to literally go through as many strategies as I can in this masterclass. Now, I've compiled all of my high return on investment strategies. So today, I'm focusing on everything that we use to increase return on investment by 7 times. That is exactly what we do every time that people come to the VIP Fast Track Academy. That is the sole goal, because anyone who says you can change that in a day, that is unrealistic. This is about quantified goals, but realistic things that can be achieved. They're not going to make you disheartened, but obviously going to spur you on, because where are you now, and why are you here? The reason you're probably sitting on this masterclass is, number one, you're dedicated to your business and your role. Everybody wants some form of professional development. We love learning. We want to make sure that we're always applying the best strategies and best practice to our business. But ultimately, what is your goal? So why are you here? Tell me in the chat why you are here. What is it that if you could fix one thing today, what would that be? Tell me what your goals are, and let's make sure that we absolutely smash this today and we cover it, because I can only give you my best performing strategies. The more that you align this to your own personal business, the better. Okay, so why are we here today? Katie says, literally, the reason I want to be on today's webinar is that I've started my business and I am looking to really ramp up my online presence. Yeah, but sales is not my forte. So how do I go ahead? Okay, well, sales is not most people's forte, because obviously you're focusing on what you're good at. But what you're not realizing is you are a natural seller. When you are passionate about your product or service, what happens is that you exude that, right? What we need to do is we need to get you to a position where you don't have to sell. And selling becomes, for me, a conversation. Yeah, so it should be that I have positioned, obviously, what we do enough in terms of aligning it to the customer need, and also making sure that we give quantifiable, tangible outcomes. Now, if that proposition is positioned accordingly and you've got online presence and you've got a steady flow of leads, what you'll find is people just want to ask questions. They have already made their mind up. Now, the interesting thing is with online marketing is that if you have a goal and you are hell-bent on actually achieving that goal. So for instance, you might be here today because you're not getting enough leads into your business. You might want to automate things. You might want to save a little bit of time. It could be that you feel that there's just so much out there, you're not really sure your priority. Yeah, so Claire's just said exactly one of the things is that she doesn't know what her priorities should be and where to start. It's a little bit overwhelming. Yeah, it absolutely is, and it can be. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take you through some principles and hopefully guide you and give you enough information that you can start applying some of these changes, not tomorrow, but today. Yeah. And these masterclasses are about taking action. Yeah. So if you think about it, honestly, what is your biggest challenge right now? Is it time? Is it tech? You know, is it that you don't have budget? Is it that you're not sure what to spend your money on, or what results you should be, getting, and what quality you should be expecting from, things like Facebook ads, social media ads? For me, there is one thing right now. If you sit and think about your business, and if you've got pen and paper there, you can start mapping out what your challenge is. If you think about there'll be one thing only that is really holding you back, right? Generally, I give you these examples that time and tech are probably those things. Now, it doesn't necessarily mean that for you it is going to be. So let's have a look here. We've got a couple of people asking questions. Okay, so Toby, you've said on yours that your biggest challenge is that you work in a non-digital role, okay? You're now moving into digital and your business is expecting you to upskill. Yeah, do you know what? This is quite common. I think for me, if you understand that when a business is evolving, they don't necessarily align your training to evolve your role with you. I see this a lot. So it's not necessarily a challenge that should be unsurmountable. It should be fairly straightforward. It's about knowing what to do, not just obviously in a year and being able to write a digital plan. For me, biggest challenge I see, and even in the past week, I have trained over 75 people in LinkedIn. Biggest challenge I'm seeing is that it's not that they don't know what to do, they don't know how to do it in terms of taking an action. Like it could be that they want to really develop their online marketing, yeah, so that they are reaching a global audience, okay? Well, that's quite a large task, yeah? And, Lisa, you've said here, tech, same thing. You imagine when you are looking at growing your online social media and getting yourself out there, think about it. How do you break that down? Not in just a monthly actions, not into weekly actions, but daily tactics, right? This is where I see the problem. And one of the things that I always see when people are face-to-face or online doing a training course, we're talking about what they want to do. As I say, there's a certainty there. They know where they want to be and what, their digital or social media nirvana looks like. But what they can't figure out, or they can't fathom, and they don't know, is they don't necessarily know how to change that. What do they do daily? So for instance, let's take social media. If I think about the challenge here, and a couple of you have said social media is your challenge in getting that online visibility and growing your audiences, you have to be doing a specific set of actions every day at specific times of day. Now, I can guarantee that, for instance, one of the strategies we use will not only double your audience, but it will double your engagement, right? So when I first started out in digital, if I had known that there was a set strategy, something that I could just literally apply to my business with the knowledge that it would absolutely 100% work, of course I would have taken it. But unfortunately, 20 years ago, it wasn't there. And when social media first came out, what we could do on social media then and get away with, or we could get results with, doesn't mean that that's what we can do now. So we are constantly having to tweak our strategies to keep up to date with technology, and also consumer behavior is the biggie. So the next thing you've got to think about, if your challenge, for instance, is time or tech, right? And I said to you, you can absolutely change that and apply a principle that you would get 7 times ROI. Most people would say, absolutely, Dawn, yeah, where do I go, right? This is what we do day in, day out. So when we watch clients evolve and we look at where 7 times ROI lies, it's down to generally, if you can save 30% of your time, right? And you can start applying a strategy where you've got a steady lead generation. So for instance, I said to you, we can generate a lead every 8 minutes. Now, on average for a lead magnet, so something that we will put into social media or across digital platforms, such as a guide or something like that, we will generate about 100 to 150 leads a day for that. Now, that becomes a very, very different place to be. You know, you imagine waking up and not only are you sort of on page 1 on Google and you've got an abundance of traffic going to your site, but you are generating leads. And these leads are turning consistently into profitable paying customers. Now, that is the world of digital marketing nirvana. But many of you will see that it's a big bridge. Now, for instance, Darius, a guy I worked with, brand new to out of the corporate world into digital. Now, being an entrepreneur is a very different place to be when obviously you're coming from a salary and you have to start earning your own cash. So for him, he just wanted to be able to get a steady, consistent flow of leads in. Now, I'm going to show you what we did with Darius so you can understand, because when he said here that he had secured his first 6-figure contract with a major Swiss company, that's the kind of good news that I want to hear, because I know that there's certain things that you have to do. Now, I'm going to take you through what a 7 times ROI would look like and the stages you have to go through as a business, right? So the first thing you've got to ultimately do is absolutely smash your online presence. And this is not just about like showing up every day and talking to people, you know, in social media. This is about not just having a buzz where people are commenting, liking, and sharing, but this is about having impact. Now, impact is when you post and you are actually seeing an action on the back of it. So what do I mean? Well, this is where you literally can turn your social network into paying customers. So when you talk about online presence or you talk about being present in Google, it's about, first of all, driving traffic, leads, visibility, and getting brand awareness, right? But once you've got that presence, it is so important that you go to the next stage. And this is the gap I see. So loads of businesses go out there, they're posting every day. So it's presence, right? But it could be that it's a faceless brand. There's no actual, you know, human or figurehead behind that brand. There's no positioning. Now, what happens with positioning is that people need to see you as an expert in your own field. The only way you will do that is by posting with purpose. And when I say posting with purpose, is actually understanding what content you're putting out on the objective and the goal that you want to achieve. So every time you post on social media, don't be tempted just to fall into, I've created a graphic, I'll post something today. It either needs to have a buzz or an impact. A buzz is when someone, you know, posts that they just won a global award and people are like commenting, liking, sharing. It's amazing. Yeah. Impact, though, is quite a different thing. And why is it different? Well, because it's generating a lead. It's actually impacting on the bottom line. Now, once you get positioning right and you start looking at where, you know, your business is, then you can start to see that there's a clear difference. Now, when I look at the questions in here and the answers, a lot of you are saying, oh yeah, okay, I get it. I'm kind of just posting all the time, so I'm at presence level. Yeah. Try and align and make a note of where you think you are genuinely on this scale. Now, how are you kind of showing up every day, posting? Are you posting with purpose to establish a position so that people are seeing you as an expert in your field? Are you adding value? Are you giving away free content so that you're really helping people? You're giving kind of enough that people see the good in what you do and you become this go-to person. Now, the next thing you've got to do is once you have presence, once you have positioning, you are now premium. Premium property is the hotspot to be in social media. And this is why. If you are premium and you understand that premium for you is going to change your world, whereby you never have to sell again. Most of you would want to jump to step 3 instantly. Now, what happens here is that you are literally online. People are commenting, liking, and sharing your content. You're generating a steady flow of leads. People see you. They recognize your brand. They recognize the figurehead of your brand, and you have built a relationship, a rapport with these people, and they now hold you in that status as an influencer. You are a premium person. You are the go-to person for that industry or that niche that you present, right? So what happens then? You go straight to the sale, because what happens when you become premium, you don't ever have to start selling, because all the features and all the benefits will be positioned all of the time. You will be doing this and soft selling, right? This whole process becomes a very, very nice place to be, because these people will already see you as an expert. So they either recommend people to you, or they'll go to you as the go-to person. They'll see you in high esteem. They'll think of you as that number one person that, you've done it. You've showed them obviously how you've done it, and they want to follow suit. Yeah. So they know that you have the building blocks or the stepping stones to take them from where they are there to where they are now. So they've made that decision in their head. They just now need to know, how do they purchase? And the conversation will never be you having to sell or persuade someone. This will be you just telling them and taking them gently over the line to purchase. It is so different. Now, honestly, I did not start obviously anywhere different than I was down there at number 5. Now, for me, LinkedIn is my absolute, I've smashed it network. I'm at like 27,000 direct connections. Same in followers. I get it. I know it's inside out. I know how it works. I can literally take anybody to that status so quickly, right? Facebook, again, same principle. One of the things that I have been working with in the past 5 years is Facebook ads, social media ads. I just figured out that there was an easy opportunity to really target my exact audience. And there was an easy opportunity for them to keep seeing me. So there was a quick way, there was a fast way of being able to kind of jump through these stages of influence, but also whilst I was doing that, not having to wait, but I could recognize income and money for me and my clients really quickly, because I could use ads to start generating those leads, not tomorrow, but today. And literally setting up an ad campaign in as little as 5 minutes. It's huge. So what happens when you get to stage 1 is you become a promoter, right? So you basically are somebody who has not just set your market stall out there, for your clients, you are the best thing ever, but they are proactively recommending you, but you're starting to work with people who see you as someone that they want, an alliance or a partnership. And what happens is that everybody starts just to make your life a little bit easier, because they see you for what you do. So for instance, people don't just see me for digital marketing, they see me as a speaker or an author. And I start just to generally get that work in without having to do too much effort. But for me, there's still people who will never have a clue who Dawn McGrew is. They'll never have a clue who Business Consult is. And my world mission is clearly world domination. But, in all seriousness, it's whatever market I'm looking to get, I'm starting the same place as everyone else. So, if I decide to go and smash another social media tool that's brand new, I'm starting at, ground zero, exactly the same as everybody else started. So the good news is that I know that if I've done one and I managed to succeed in that platform, all I've got to do is tweak that principle, reapply it, and gear it slightly. So if any of this sounds familiar, if any of this is resonating with you so far, if you understand that, where you're at in business, or anything that I'm saying sounds familiar, and you're thinking, I kind of get that, I wish I was there, pop it in the live chat. Let me know how you're feeling. Tell me what your social media issues are. Do you find it difficult, in terms of what to post? Do you find it difficult in terms of why you should be, on a certain platform? Do you find it difficult choosing which platform you should be on? So for me, I'm kind of thinking, well, you know, I'm just going to look on the live here. Okay, most people are saying it's the visibility. It's, I know I should be doing things. I'm not really sure what it is I should be posting. And again, I'm kind of in the present side of things, but I need to take it to the next step. I need to see where I'm going in terms of, I need a strategy, right? Do you know how many people do not have a strategy in the world of social media and digital marketing? Over 50%. So when we look at the Q&As, this is amazing. I need to live and breathe my brand and give it personality. Oh my goodness, yes. Do you know what it is? Is that most people will see my energy around digital marketing because it's a passion, right? I'm thankful I've turned my passion into profit, okay? So it's quite a different place for me to be because obviously I worked, and my background was in programming, and then I realized that marketing was where I really kind of, you know, felt happy. And I just kind of had this natural kind of alignment because I'd studied psychology, I'd studied business, and I'd studied tech. I had a great advantage because back then there was no tools. So I had to do a lot myself. But if you can like think back to when, you know, social media started, you know, we're talking back in 2002 that LinkedIn came along. You know, still so many businesses have no clue what to do. So think about it. Where are you now? What is sounding familiar? Are you thinking, right, okay, yeah, it's the presence bit. I'm down at the sort of level 5. I want to be at level 1. I just kind of need to know what to do daily. I haven't got a strategy maybe, and I just need to kind of break down what my end goal is and think about what I need to be doing, not just monthly, but weekly, but daily. You need to have like a list of things that you just know that absolutely, if I do these every single day, I will achieve my goals. So if you list 3 things now, and let me know in the chat if any of you would like to share with me 3 things that you feel are holding you back, right? So is it, you know, your online presence? Is it budget? Is it knowing what to do? Is it tech? Is it time? Is it literally you have an end goal, but you just kind of want to know where to be? So let me know in the chat where you are in business. Okay, so let's have a look and see where you guys are. Okay, so one of you has just said, okay, Claire, okay, yeah. So that feels like me, tech for me, a massive stop. Okay, so for Jik Tucker, yeah, okay. So tech tends to be one of the things that people steer away from because anything that sounds a bit difficult, we tend to just kind of procrastinate and move out the way. Biggest thing for me is understanding that tech can be something that normal people can do, because in the world of digital marketing, tools have come along, right? And this makes it really easy and really simple for us to actually do something, right? So list your 3 things down. You know, what is holding you back? Do you feel that you don't have an audience? You know, do you feel like your presence isn't quite there yet and you don't have anyone on your subscriber email list, and you just kind of want to have a quick, fast way of not just kind of list building, but generating leads that are actually coming into fruition, turning into paying customers? Okay, so let's have a look and see what else you've asked on here. Okay, so one of the things that you've said is holding you back is knowing what to spend on ads, right? Okay, I'm going to point out something here that you may think is very controversial. Personally, I would never have a budget for ads because ads for me are a revenue generator. I see everything in the world of digital marketing as something that earns me money. Why? Because I measure the return on investment, and I know that I can quickly change an ad, and I can get an ad up or start a campaign and earn cash from it that day, right? I know I can generate leads that day. So it's knowing the principles. So if you have 3 barriers that are kind of stopping you and you're just kind of not sure how to get over that barrier, then you need to start thinking that you need to either not just do it alone, you need to either ask for help, or you need to upskill. Okay, so this is going to be the ultimate for you, because you need to think, do you, or are you the expert in that? Are you the best person to be dedicating your time to it, right? So for instance, for me, would it be my best use of time to be doing my tax return? No, absolutely it would not. Okay, so I would go and I'd find an expert in the field and I'd hire an accountant and I'd get them to do all my bookkeeping and also all my accountancy stuff. They're going to do it far quicker. It's going to cost a lot less money. And obviously it's going to be a lot less time and effort from me, but ultimately it's win-win. Where people don't see this is that you either need to understand it so that you can do it yourself, or you need to understand what needs to be done so you can brief and guide the person doing it for you. You can't do everything. Now, if any of you have seen in the Brain, Body and Business group, so Business Consorts group, you will see that Steph and Tracy are going through a digital transformation. They're with me on the VIP Academy, and what they've achieved in 3 weeks is massive. But we've had to take them out of the comfort zone, yeah? And they've had to realize that they can't do everything themselves, right? There's a certain amount they have to learn and understand. They've got things that they've been putting off because they've been held back by time and tech, and they have to step over that barrier. So now you've got kind of an understanding of where you are, kind of where you want to be, what's stopping you getting to the end result, what's going to get you there, and what's going to be your digital business model. Yeah. So how are you going to actually get through the stages of influence? How are you going to monetize what you do? And how are you literally going to generate leads for your business? How are you going to nurture them through to paying customers? And how are you going to get those customers coming back again and again? But not only that, but referring business to you while you sleep, right? This is where your digital business model comes in. And if any of you have done the 5-day challenge, make more money online, you will know that there was the 1-page plan. Now, this is going into a deeper dive, right? And this is looking at the restrictions. So you can't literally overnight turn around and become a digital influencer. Some of you may be at different stages, and it might be small incremental steps that have big impact and get you past those restrictions. But when we talk about your model, we have to think about the 3 things in business. Now, often I will see businesses who are quite established. They've been selling, products and services for a few years. And they're confused at why I'm taking them back to the proposition. They're saying, I've got a proposition, I know what I'm selling. But the thing is if a business is not generating at the level of leads that they want and converting that into the level of sales they need to be profitable and to absolutely not just get their goals, but smash their goals, then there is an opportunity and there is something lacking. Generally, the reason a business is not smashing it is because they are not doing sufficient marketing or effective marketing. So what does that mean? Okay, well, it means you could have the best product or service and you are the world's best kept secret. Why? Because if you can't get your brand and your product and service out in front of customers and you can't generate leads every day, then it's never going to be digital nirvana for you. You're never going to reach that profit that you actually deserve as a business. I meet people all the day, and it's really sad because, I met a lady just a few weeks ago, amazing product and service. They'd put loads of investment into developing the product, and literally it was something so amazing that pretty much everyone would need in their life. I couldn't understand why they weren't selling until I looked at the proposition. The proposition, the wording, the way that it was structured was all a lot wrong. It was all about the features. There's nothing about the benefits. No one really got from their branding what it was and why they needed it. Okay. We changed that. It took 1 week to rejig the proposition and the messaging, and they had a 70% increase in sales, not just leads, sales, right? This is how important it is. Presence, again, didn't want to use social media. Why? Didn't really understand it. Didn't really kind of get the value. Had a page, was kind of posting sporadically. Again, got them into a structured way and built an audience. So then going forward, there was a lead generation strategy in place that was then continuing to push through into revenue and profit. And the process is, everything was being done by one person, right? So anything from doing a spreadsheet, uploading email contacts, all those things, anything that repeats in your business more than once or on a daily basis needs to be in an automated process. But many people don't understand or how to do that or what the tech to do it, is or should be, right? These are really simple things when you know what tool to do, use and how to set it up. But also the process for me, the biggest one for this particular client was automated emails. So when a lead came in, there was actually no clear process of, what they could do in terms of leads. So For me, about process is all about making sure that you have a task that if it's repeating, you do it more than once, then you have to find a new way. You have to find a way of automating it. You have to find a way of taking yourself away from that task, right? Second pitfall in marketing, and this is a big mistake. It's kind of the keenness and the passion behind a brand means that sometimes it's easy to fall into the trap where you're almost selling everything to everyone. So you wake up every day and you think, right, I must promote my business, right? Unfortunately, no one cares about your business, right? You do. And ultimately, they will love what your business, product, or service maybe achieves them in the end. But waking up every day trying to market a business is not the right thing. What you're trying to do is you're going to wake up every day thinking about what the potential problems are that your client has and how you can solve that. And then you're going to target that message specifically to the people and only the people it's relevant to. Why do I see this going wrong? I went on Facebook today and I saw that 83%, this is a rough kind of average across 100 businesses, 83 of them were not targeting their social media posts. They were literally posting to everyone. Now, if you're thinking, oh, actually, maybe I'm doing that. If you are not going onto your Facebook page or your LinkedIn page and actually targeting who specifically is going to see that content and who isn't, then you are not using social media correctly. You're trying to sell everything to everyone, right? You're probably getting disheartened because you're probably thinking, well, why is no one answering, right? What happens with this kind of social media is it falls flat on its face. The post won't travel. You won't get reach. Why? Because the social network, be it LinkedIn or Facebook, has absolutely no idea who this post is relevant for and who to show it for. So you've got to imagine on Facebook, you have suggested content that comes to you in your newsfeed, right? You can do that for your business. But where does it come from? Well, it comes from targeting from your page. But if you're not targeting, you'll only ever be reaching the same people who follow your LinkedIn page, the same people who follow your Facebook page again and again. And it becomes really difficult to resonate, get interactivity, get engagement, but ultimately grow your audience. Yeah. So you've got to master your channel and you've got to laser focus on what your goal is for that channel. So for me, you know, if I'm working on a social network, I am all in on that network and I am figuring it out. I am looking at how it works and I am applying that strategy until ultimately I've got to my goal. So getting to my goal of generating a lead every 8 minutes, yeah, absolutely smash that. But the great thing is I can turn that up or down depending on what we're doing. So for instance, you know, I've got a book launch coming up in November. Of course, we will ramp up the activity and we'll reach a broader audience because ultimately I would like to sell as many books in a short period of time to get to bestseller status. So you've got to think, what is your channel, right? Don't try and dilute your efforts. Don't spread yourself too thin, right? All you're doing is giving yourself a headache and also probably feeling really disheartened, right? So some of you may have heard of success paths or branded solutions, okay? A branded solution or a success path is basically a way of presenting what you do for your customer and showing tangible outcomes. So for instance, we have the dynamic digital marketing model. This is the model that my entire book is actually written around, and it won an award last year. I think probably just because of the clarity, but behind each of these 8 sections, these are 8 powerful ways to market your business online. We have a strategy. And as I said to you before, the strategy is not just, oh, well, you need to go and grow your traffic. It is breaking down the exact tactics and actions on a daily basis for each of these digital channels, right? Now, funnily enough, the first one, which is for search marketing, so appearing online and appearing not just in Google, but on page 1 in Google and position 1 and dominating the search engines and ultimately getting more traffic. Well, okay, the reason we named it the rapid traffic generator is I have never met anyone who wanted slow traffic. But seriously, this is our success path. And it's very clear to show somebody that we know the exact steps to take someone through. So, you know, it'd be like meeting somebody and them saying, we're like, okay, so you're going to get me to 27,000 LinkedIn connections. How are you going to do that? Well, I can show them exactly what I would be doing using the social, the proven positioning process. I can take them through exactly what that is, break it down into the steps they need to do, and it's very tangible. So they commit to an action, they have a guaranteed goal, an outcome, and the world is a happy place. So you have to think about not only your digital business model, but what your solution is. What is your unique solution? How are you going to do this? So if you make a promise to somebody, whether it's a product or a service, how does it work? You know, we met a client who had this amazing service whereby if an appliance broke in your house and you needed it fixed, like a coffee machine or something like that, they would fix it for you. And literally, one of the things that was not clear in the proposition was you went on the website and the first thing that went in my mind was like, oh my goodness, that's great. So someone can fix my appliance. I don't have to chuck it away. I've bought it from John Lewis for a couple of £100. Great. I just need this bit doing. Oh, well, my coffee machine weighs a ton. How am I going to get it to that person? Well, quite simply. They had not shown me the steps. There was no messaging on the entire website to say that not only would they pick it up, but they would return it back for free. I mean, amazing, right? So as soon as they changed that message and showed a clear success path for the consumer, instantly they were getting new customers, right? 50% increase in customers in 2 weeks' time, right? Massive, massive, right? So our dynamic digital marketing model is trademarked. It's unique to me. No one else can copy it, but it means also that other people in my team can deliver. So there's 17 of us in Business Consort. So if I wanted someone to go and deliver exact same quality, consistent training, I know I can teach them my success path and the delivery. So it works on both sides of the business. So tell me what's landed for you so far. Tell me in the chat, just give me a quick kind of, this is what I get, or this is what I've realized in my business. This is what I need to change. Tell me what it is that you need to change in your business. Tell me how you feel about what I've said. Tell me if there's something that you feel that you have kind of had an epiphany moment with. Let me have a look at the chat on here and see what we've got. Okay, so when you said about the proposition side of things and messaging, one of the feedback that you got from your customer was they didn't see it clearly on the website and they only picked up that messaging. Okay, so there was no consistency between the messaging on your email and your website. So this is another crucial thing. You need to make sure that you are 100%, positioning your brand or your product or service, and it's aligned across your channels. Okay, so a couple of people have said really that they're just kind of understanding that the presence is the bit that they're missing, and that lead generation is a big thing. One lady has just said here, which is really interesting, that in terms of growing a business, it feels like you're doing all the effort, but not getting any of the financial return. So it's really crucial that you start thinking about how you monetize it now. You know, there's no business that doesn't actually benefit from having cash flow, right? And this is where lead generation comes in. And this can be solved very quickly with ads. Lisa, I can only get views and reactions from my daily story picks. I've noticed I've had a few days off and engagement's dropped. Oh, yeah, such a good point. I'll tell you why it's dropped. Basically, if you think about it as you are all social networkers, right? In the land of Facebook or Twitter or LinkedIn, whatever you're using, right? And then you literally have a day off, right? You're competing with the other social networkers. So if you think about it like a gold star system, you get a gold star for logging in, you get a gold star for posting, you get a gold star for getting engagement, a gold star for growing your network. If you don't do that for a day, someone else takes your spot. And that's quite simply what happens. So there is a way, there is a tactic of quite quickly doing that and just spending 10 minutes a day, you know, and this is ultimately, you know, what we teach on the VIP Fast Track Academy, because I've never met anybody who wants to do anything slow track. You know, we actually built the Fast Track Academy for this reason, because a lot of the clients I had on the agency side just needed to kind of know what to do. Either people wanted to do it in-house, they wanted to be able to brief somebody what to do, or they wanted to get quick results. Now, generally, if you are not getting enough leads and you're not getting enough business, you want to change that, not like in 3 months' time, you want to do it in a few days. Okay, so what have you realized you need to do? Well, one of the things Lisa's just realized is that you can't have time off. You know, You literally lose your spot, you know, as a social network. If you have realized that you need to change what you do in terms of your time. So Lisa, you'd mentioned here about obviously tech in your business. Think about, you know, is there things that you can outsource, right? That, you know, it's more worthwhile you spending time on getting someone else to do it, like my accountant doing my accounts. It's not worthwhile, you know, me doing it. But also, is there things that you absolutely hate in your business? If you hate it, you're not going to do it, right? So you have a choice to make at this stage. And, you know, I love the saying, Albert Einstein. Who doesn't love Albert Einstein? I mean, I would just have loved to meet this guy in, you know, and actually just had a coffee and explored his mind for 5 minutes. But insanity is doing the same thing over and over and expecting different results, right? So for me, you know, if something is not working, you can't keep doing it. The sad thing is generally when a client comes to me, it's because they've exhausted something. They've just pushed and pushed and pushed at the same thing and realized that actually they're just spending more time, more effort and more money, but still nothing's changing. They're not getting it. So you have to make a decision. And I was talking to Tracy and Steph, who are on our VIP Academy today, and you'll see this in the newsfeed. You can listen to the story. Their pain points were realizing that actually, you know, time, if Steph hadn't changed what she did in her time, she would never be any further forward. She's still in the same place 3 weeks on, right? Sometimes change, you know, is taking you out of your comfort zone. Sometimes change involves you thinking differently. You know, sometimes change is a big step because you're already in a disheartened mode, so that it feels a little bit overwhelming to go to the next step. If you feel anything about where you are now and changing, you have to be realistic about one thing: reaching more people, attracting your ideal client, converting more profitable customers, and scaling and growing. If that's what change meant, would you do it? Of course you would. Yeah, everyone's like, yeah. So in the chat, tell me now if there's something that you think I need to change. If you really feel that there's something you just can't change, put it in the chat. I won't mention names or anything like that, but show me if there's something you feel you can't change. Now, I know confidently 100% that when I work with somebody, things change, because it can't not. For me, I suppose I'm quite different as a practitioner. I'm very much, you know, theory is important, but real world business marketing is more important, because, you know, money makes the world go round. And that is a serious but maybe sad fact. I don't know. But, you know, ultimately, we are all in business for a reason, right? Yes, we get some benefits along the way in terms of satisfying people, you know, exceeding people's expectations, helping them achieve their dreams, whatever that is you do for a client, that's great. But ultimately, it has to be profitable. Someone said, I need to realize I need my ideal client. Ideal client, right? How much an ideal client can actually strip out your own business, but also demotivate you. An ideal client is when everything is just nice and it flows. Yeah. You meet somebody, it's positive, it's gain. Amazing, right? Ideal clients for me, people like Steph and Tracy. You'll see them in the group. Why are they ideal? Because they are action takers. They want to change. They want to make something happen, right? People who want a discount are not your ideal client because they're not seeing the value. It could be your fault. It could be that you have not positioned your brand and your proposition accordingly. So if anyone ever asked me for a discount, I would say, I'm sorry, but we don't do that. I'd be devaluing myself, and I'd be devaluing my training, right? I know that my training will, you know, change your world. It will not only save you 30% of time, but it will increase your return on investment by 7 times. So if I'm guaranteeing that, why should I drop my price? Now, I always give the analogy, and some of you may have heard this before, but I talk about when you're thinking about your attracting more leads, you have to position your product and service, right? Okay, so the pen story, the analogy. You're trying to attract more leads, you're trying to get your message out there. How do you get more leads, yeah, and get people and attract your ideal client? You have to get the message out there. So for instance, if I was selling 2 pens online, and one was £1 and one was £100, most people that I would attract would want the £1 pen. Now, I need to be very clear in my proposition. I need to be very clear in my marketing message to tell people that actually the pen that is £100 has some added perks. And these benefits, these are so valuable that it's worth its weight in gold, never mind £100. So I would be saying that this pen will last forever. It will never run out of ink. If you lose the pen, in fact, we'll replace it for the rest of your life. This pen will get you at the front of the queue in any queue situation in your life, right? There is no one out there who wouldn't want the £100 pen unless they were crazy. You know, it's about positioning the value to attract the lead, right? But you have to sell the end goal. No one wants to, for instance, like I own an agency and I own an academy. I never say that at a networking event, right? I would always say what I do is I maximize digital marketing profits to scale and grow businesses. Never met anyone who doesn't want to have a conversation with me about how I do that, right? If I just went in and said, you know, I own an academy and agency, conversation would be quite simply, oh, yeah, you know, it's boring. Okay. So Dawn, thank you. I've just asked 2 people who are tech savvy to be my admins on my page. Amazing, right? This is what I'm talking about. This is changing, right? This is about realizing if there's something holding you back, you can change one thing today. What's it going to be, right? So if you want to get more sales, you're positioning your content, you're bringing in more leads. Perhaps you've mastered, you know, how to smash it with social media ads, whatever it is, right? How do you nurture them through to paying customers? This is where it falls off for me. People don't have a nurture strategy. I met a business the other week, 1,000 leads they had in that week, not one converted, not one. Now, this was not because the product or service was naff or anything like that. This was to do with the fact that they hadn't nurtured them through. There was no sense of urgency. There was no reason. There was no compelling factor that made them cross that line and become a customer. Now, having a nurture series and having automation series in place, there is a perfect strategy for it. And also a perfect timeline of how to contact someone, how to then send a sequence of emails that are changing the state of that person and opening up communication. Now, one of the things I would say, and the biggest thing that you can do is open up 2 ways. Stop being one-way promotional. When I see a nurture strategy not working, it's because people are just sending emails that no one can reply to. Now, I'm going to leave you with that thought because there'll be many people here today, and this is not something that you've maybe considered or even realized that is changing how your business works and converts. But if you are sending an email or a campaign of any sort to someone that doesn't have a 2-way mechanism, that is going to hinder your sales. Now, if you want to make more money, you've got to think about your pricing strategy. You've got to think about, are you operating in a market where everyone's priced the same and you're trying to undercut it, or you're trying to be competitive? Would it be a suggested strategy to maybe take yourself out of that market and position yourself at a different level, a different target market that's less competitive and sell more? So you've got to think about the margin. At the end of the day, it's all very well earning revenue, but it's all about profit. Right. So for me, our business, we operate at an 87% profit, right? That is so crucial because, you could be earning 10 million, but if you made a 5% profit, that's no different than somebody who's probably started the business, and is one-man band. So you've got to think about it, scaling a business and growing it. It's not about having a massive team. It's about having massive profit and doing everything in the most savvy and efficient way. So this is about time and effort. You can't do everything. I'm loving the fact that some of you have just said to me that you've actually just sent an email, you've actioned something. This is amazing. This is what I want to see. I want to see people doing something and changing what they're doing. Because ultimately, if you're on this masterclass, you want to generate more leads, but there is something that is either a barrier or a challenge that is holding you back. You need to step over that. You need to get past it. And making one change today is massive. Now, automation, removing the repetition, right? This is my favorite phrase. Anyone who's been on my courses, you will know that I am all about time saving. I want you to be able to step back in your business and be strategic and operate from a place of power, right? A place of power is when you are not grappling for business, that you know that you've got covered the lead generation, the nurture strategy, and you've got sales coming in. And all you're doing is you're being strategic. You're operating in a place of power where you can make decisions, not emotionally, but strategically. Yeah. You take the emotion out because everything is working. You're just trying to optimize it. This is the biggest game changer you'll ever experience in your life. Investing time now will save you 30% time. Why do people not do things? Because it seems like a lot of effort. Sometimes you will have to put a little bit of effort in now and save a lot of time later. Yeah. And for me, this is a huge, huge thing. We would not be able to train the level of students we do. We train 5,000 students a year. We're 17 people in a business. That's not massive, but how are we training those people? Because we have processes in place. We're automating. We're trying to drive a good digital experience and obviously drive a great learning experience for our students. Now, our students are all over the world. There is no way that with 17 people, we would be able to train 5,000 people without removing the repetition and having this steady flow of leads coming in. So this is Alejandro. He's actually joining us on a live tonight, 8 p.m. His challenge was having an in-depth knowledge. So he'd been doing social media and using digital marketing, but learning on the go, basically teaching himself, right? I see this a lot. This is probably the biggest issue. Now, teaching yourself is great. I learn every day. I'm always trying to learn something new. I read about 3 to 5 books a week, right? Learning is great. But when you're being self-taught, you're not entirely sure that whether you're taking the right strategy in the right direction. So what often happens is that you have to keep doing something again and again and again, and it takes you 10 times longer, 10 times more money, and 10 times more effort to get a result. You'll get a result in the end, but it won't be quick, right? And you will have invested a lot of money, so your return on that investment will be far lower, right? So think about, is there something that you are not absolutely, clear on? Is there something you're using that you're not really sure of the strategy and you're just kind of winging it? What's landed for you here? Are you thinking, I need to outsource? Are you thinking I need to upskill? Are you thinking you need tech? Are you thinking you need to get your time management in place? Are you thinking you need automation? What is resonating with you right now? Talk to me in the chat area. Tell me where you're at, and let's see how aligned we are. Okay, so let's have a look. This webinar was amazing. I'm having such a bad day. Not now. I know exactly what I need to do. Thank you. And lots of hearts, right? Thank you. This is what I need on a daily basis. For me, doing webinars like this is not about, pressing on your pain points, but this is getting you to realize something. And if any of you saw the live today with Tracy and Steph, you'll know that I spoke quite categorically to both of them about when I met them, I knew that there was instantly something holding them back, both different things. And it was fundamentally around time and tech, but a little bit also around confidence and the belief in something working. So what happens is you try something, you get disheartened, so you think it doesn't work. And I met a client the other day who had been using Facebook ads for 3 years, 3 years. Then tells me, that they're just not using it because, it's just not working. And, they've invested all this time, 3 years, all this money, and they've not been getting results. Now, 3 years is a long time to wait to realize that and come to that epiphany moment. So you've got to think, well, if there's something that you're using, right, and we know absolutely 100% Facebook ads work, right? So I can't put that out there stronger. Social media ads absolutely work, right? There is no doubt in that. When they don't work, it's because you're doing something wrong, right? And as much as people will say, no, I'm doing it right, I can promise you, if I can generate a lead every 8 minutes or more and get 150 odd leads per lead magnet a day, we're adding to our email list, which is 5 million, right? We're adding on a monthly basis about 14,000 new email subscribers, people who are proactively signing up with us in exchange for a lead magnet, right? So I know, hands down, these things work. So if you've got something in your business, write it down, right? Write down what your marketing priorities are. If there's something that's not working, but you know that works for other people, then that's going to be a priority because you're putting money into it and it's not doing anything for you. It could be that you're not investing enough in it. You've got to think quite clearly where your priorities are. So write down what your 3 priorities are. Let's see what else we've got on here. Okay, so marketing priority is outsource tech, save more time. Someone's just said, I've just downloaded your brain, body and business planner and I'm applying this day to day. Yeah, great way of doing it. One of the things that you can do is use a planner to just kind of get really clear on what you need to do for that particular day. Okay. So once you've written down your 3 priorities, these things are 3 things you know you have to fix right now, okay? And these are things that you know will have an impact on your business. You know will save you time. You know will save you money, and you know will save you effort, right? And once you've got that clarity, it's now easy that you can sort of start to see that you can sell more without selling, right? Now, I'm going to explain this principle to you because if you think about the customer journey, we start off and we reach people in social media platforms, we're attracting people, then we've got to convert them, close them, and delight them. Well, after they've been through your customer journey and your content marketing, generally the average customer will have consumed 2 to 3 pieces of your content before making a purchase. And what we know is that people who actually consume your content marketing before making a purchase are more likely to make a higher purchase than someone who is an impulse buy from a post in social media that says buy now. Now that's a very different approach. So what you're actually trying to do is present your content and add value to people so that you're working smarter, not harder. You want to be able to think about finding out what was the piece of content that converted your last customer. What made them choose you? Why did they come to you? There'll be one compelling thing. There'll be something they read. There'll be a key message that they resonated with them. There'll be something that they chose you, you know. So you've got to think, well, if there's something that you're selling right now and it's working, or there's something that a client has said, I read this, it was amazing. Could you monetize that? Could you make that into a product? I probably meet in a year about 10,000 people who should monetize their product. Now, this is just meeting people at events and things that I speak at, but this is where people have content that is so valuable that they are just not reutilizing it. You know, it's just sitting there. Monetizing a product is about taking things like, you know, your knowledge out of your head and making it into a mini training course, right? How valuable is that? You know, monetizing something is, you know, often we're scared of doing it because we want to overgive, right? You're always, you know, sharing content, but you're only ever telling people what they can do. You're not going into the deep dive of how they can do it. Now, as I said, if you're not utilizing adverts in your business, then, you know, it's something you need to harness because it's so solid in terms of return on investment because it's so targeted. You know, it can have instant results. Like literally, we set up campaigns with clients and it's minutes and people are not just generating a lead, but they're actually getting people buying things, you know, in an hour, right? We did a client who we set up a website that day and they were earning money that day. I mean, this is how much of a game changer it is. So you need to change your way of thinking. You need to think of marketing as a revenue generator. Now, these clients here have all, I suppose, undergone that transition. They've realized what their marketing priorities were. So Samantha, who was an SEO executive at Shepherd's Friendly, she really wanted to understand SEO and web and Google Analytics, 3 things that in business is like a gray area. You know, you say the words SEO and like, what does that even mean? You know, we know that it means something to do with appearing in Google. Some of you may, you know, really understand it, but the majority of people I meet, SEO is like a dark art that I spend most of my time demystifying. And, you know, for me, when I met Samantha and she came on the VIP Fast Track Academy, she was at a point where they were outsourcing their marketing and at £5,000 a month, didn't really know what they were getting as a return on investment. So just by actually understanding what those principles were and understanding that SEO, in fact, is the easiest thing in digital marketing. And when I tell people that actually optimizing a piece of content or a page to appear in page 1 in Google takes less than 60 seconds, then people start to realize that maybe I could do that. Maybe I could do that in-house when I was, you know, creating content, writing to the web. People like Emma, her biggest challenge was having a team all over the place. You know, a lot of us now have, you know, remote teams. And also having a strategy, you know, what is it that they needed to do? So it was all about building digital skills so that the communication strategy was reaching the right people. So it's targeting. You know, one thing that obviously people like Emma in their business, they didn't realize that you could target from Facebook. You didn't realize you could target from LinkedIn, and this was free. So, you know, these things are not just small impact changes. These are big wins. This was Caitlin, and she came on a course with me just last year. And one of the things is having a campaign. When I say digital campaigns or plans to people, they're kind of, oh, I'm not sure, I've not written one, you know, I kind of know what I'm doing, I know what my end goal is. This is about chunking your campaigns into quick ideas whereby you can get one theme out there and get big results. So we did a campaign where we got, we basically set out to get 1 million video views in a period of 30 days. And I share a campaign template at the Academy that, you know, basically can be replicated. We didn't just get 1 million video views, we actually managed to increase our customer base by 11% in that time. So you've got to think, what is it and where are you? You know, like, do you feel that you can sit down today, look at marketing priorities and change? You know, do you feel that, you know, you have the right income now? And what is your percentage of online versus passive? You know, are you selling your time one-to-one? Or are you operating at a base of one-to-many, where people like Tracy, who's building an online course, you know, she can sell that again and again, and her time is not required. So, I mean, I probably work around about 70% online, 30% offline. I love nothing better than delivering training, speaking at events. I love that human connection. I love the one-to-one contact. I wouldn't want to change that. Now, that's what works for my business model. Yours might be completely different, but you need to be thinking about multiple revenue streams and also passive income, right? These are important strategies in order to grow your business, because there's only going to ever be a finite number of, you know, one person in the business who is earning that money. You might have multiple experts in your business who are all to do with, you know, they're all fee earners, but you've got to think about, is there things you can do and you can trade for money that that physical person doesn't have to always be part of? So if you've got this right, how would you feel, right? So how would you feel about your business if you changed your business and in 30 days time, you were absolutely achieving a 7 times return on investment? So for every penny or pound you spent, you're getting 7 times back. There is no one I know who wouldn't want that. Now, if you don't want that, that means that you're already smashing that. You're way past that, okay? And anything that I can obviously teach you or tell you about, it is not going to be right for you. So in the chat area, we've got a couple of questions here that I'm just going to answer. Okay, so in terms of questions, okay, okay, so if you could guarantee sometimes return on investment, yes. Okay, so a lot of them are saying, yes, I would be into that. Okay, there's probably no one who doesn't want to generate more leads, more sales, and more money. So far on this webinar, you have learned that presence equals reach and also equals effort, right? So what we know is that I can reduce your effort, increase your reach, and increase your presence, right? So let's turn it on its head. You've also learned that processes are absolutely essential in nurturing people through to paying customers, but also saving time. And I know I can save at least 30% of your time. Now, you've learned also that proposition for your business, getting that key branding and message and aligning it to the customer needs, positioning it to solve their pain, utilizing a success path, and getting these ideal clients into your business who are not only your ideal client, but they're your biggest advocates. They're referring back to you. And this in turn is generating money. Now, all of this ultimately leads to one thing, which is profit, right? So if you want to invest in yourself and in terms of gaining more profit, I've talked a lot about the VIP Fast Track Academy. And as I said, for me, this is not about talking about theory. This is real world business strategies that we're talking about. This is talking about the stages of digital influence, right? So all of our VIP Fast Track Academy members will 100% be able to know one thing. And the first thing that you will actually get from the Academy is the stages of influence and how to establish an expert in your field. If you don't have that foundation in place, it will be very difficult to move to the next stage. So many people I see try and skip past it. They just try and get presence. They're trying to get, you know, a sale straight from social media, and all the posts are just sell, sell, sell. You know, as I said, when you're not selling, you sell more. And we have a principle that we teach, and it's all about sell, not tell. The stages of a digital influence, there is set processes that you need to go through. And as I said, there is set strategy, a strategy that I teach on the VIP Fast Track Academy. I promise you, hands down, otherwise I will eat my microphone. The strategy that I will teach is going to guarantee that you'll not only double your audience, but double your engagement in a week. Right? So if you want to become a digital influencer, you want to smash social media, then that strategy, I guarantee there is nothing quicker than that. And this is breaking down the tactics, as I said, so you know exactly what your priorities are per day, what you're going to be doing, and how you're going to be doing it. And the best news ever that you're going to hear today, that takes 10 minutes a day. That's exactly what I've done to become where I am in a digital influence status, and also be recognized as an expert in my field. So it's important that you are established as a go-to person. Now, it's quite difficult sometimes just thinking, well, what are those daily actions that, you know, I need to do that? Now, that's what I'm going to address on the VIP Academy. But ultimately, you need to be reaching and attracting the ideal client. So once you've got to that point, we can't just wait for you to get to level 5, from level 5 to level 1 of digital influence. I need to be able to see that you are not only reaching your ideal client every day, but you're attracting them in, and you're doing it using things like social channels, and you're targeting. So remember I said to you about how you can reach your audience for free, not advertising, but using LinkedIn pages and Facebook, and targeting and excluding your exact audience. But I guarantee that just by using this one strategy, you will double your reach. So you've doubled your engagement, your reach, and your audience so far, okay? And this is all achievable on the fast track. Now, this is 3 days in London or Manchester. The reason it's 3 days is I need that time, right? There's no way that I would be a legitimate trainer or digital marketer to guarantee that I could do that in any shorter time. Now, if you think you can do it in less time, fine. We are not the place for you, because the Academy it's a very interactive, very intense workshop, and it's talking about taking you through these principles. There's dates in October, there's dates in March and June. There is currently a few places left for October. We've got a lot of people booking in for March, and then obviously for June 2020 as well. And we have, again, obviously October 2020. For me, one of the best things about the Academy is the environment. So the training rooms that we use, we're not in hotels, we're not in places where, you know, it's a dark, dingy room. All of our training rooms have roof terraces, and actually the one in London overlooks the Tower of London. This is an amazing view. But everything's included. So literally all you've got to worry about is turning up and being open to change, you know, and realizing that I am going to take you through a journey, and that some of it might be pushing you outside your comfort zone a little bit, because we can't change or get you past something without doing that. Now, you'll come out understanding exactly what your trademark model should be. So we'll be creating a success path. And this is not just your traditional success path. This is your solution tailored to your ideal client. We'll be actually creating your ideal client profile and looking at the customer journey and how we can really, really maximize that. The biggest thing that we'll be doing, especially on day one, is looking at your presence, your proposition, your process. You will have that nailed, but you'll also have your key messaging. For me, it's not just about kind of talking to you about something. I need you to do it. What happens on a training course is that you'll hear what I'm saying, you'll look at what I'm, you know, presenting and showing as case studies and examples, but I need you to do it so that it really resonates and it goes in and you remember this. But the more you do, the more you can actually start seeing results on the course. So the VIP Fast Track for Digital Marketing, I actually teach my 8 powerful ways of increasing your online presence. So 8 powerful ways of marketing your business online, which is my dynamic digital marketing model. And we go through every single strategy for each of these channels. And as I said, it gives you the exact tactics you should do every single day in the priority, with the time you should afford to it, and the budget that you will need so that it turns into a revenue generator. So with the Academy, you will cover SEO, demystifying the dark art of SEO, 7 steps to social media success, email marketing magic, creating content that converts. Marketing is impossible without great content. We'll be looking at social selling and the stages of becoming an influencer, creating killer advertising campaigns. As I say, This is essential, not just for 2019, but for 2020. You know, LinkedIn is the only social network at the moment that you can actually get reach, but that is changing. We know that the algorithm will change and it will become harder and harder. So you need to jump on ads. You need to get that strategy in place and have an understanding of, even if you're not using ads now, how to target your audience using pages, using free targeting to double your reach right now to combat these changes. And also a strategy. We'll not only give you a strategy template to fill in, but I'm going to give you a case study that increased our own customer base by 11% in month. And this template can just be rolled out for any sector, right? So you can walk away with a strategy, absolutely knowing what you're going to do for the next 30, 60, and 90 days. And looking at how you're going to measure it, this is the bit where everyone falls off, you know, measuring analytics. No one has ever lived for measuring digital, but there's some quick ways that you can do this. And it's about making it automatic, something you don't have to do, right? But you can look at, and it's valuable, and you can turn these metrics into tangible actions. So you can keep improving things, okay? We'll also give you the VIP bonus, which is the Consort Club. So you're going to get ongoing masterclasses. So just like this, but deeper dive. This is going to be looking at developing your digital skills, covering any hot topics. But when you walk away from the 3-day, this is generally when you will need the most support. I will be with you for 12 months, helping you to implement it and coaching you and mentoring. But you're also going to have accountability check-ins, because at the end of the day, what you learn is only as good as what you apply. And at the end of the day, for me, you know, what's the best thing for my business? Success stories. So I want you to be a success story. You'll be also eligible to attend our VIP strategy days. So once you've got so far, you come to the next one and the next one. And you will have 3 free boot camps for the year. So all the events that we're running, the dynamic digital marketing events, you get to attend them for free, you know. And again, this is a great networking opportunity, never mind anything else. So up until the 1st of October, the VIP Fast Track, which launched yesterday and this morning, is 1497 plus VAT. Or you can just do 3 payments of 499 plus VAT. So it's a massive saving of 250. Anyone who joins by the end of this webinar and actually goes off and joins the VIP Fast Track, you've got a link that you can use. Now, as I said, we've got this offer on until the 1st of October, but I will give a special bonus. Now, one of the bonuses will be that on the 3-day summit, on day 2, you'll have a VIP private dinner with me. We'll be able to go through your business. We'll be able to chat about where your direction is, and we can have obviously a relaxed environment. So the VIP dinner is not eligible for everybody. It's obviously if you enroll within this time period, and obviously it'll be first come, first serve. So the first 10 people will also get a private one-to-one with me, a private mentoring session. Now that in itself is worth more than the entire VIP investment. So it's a huge incentive. It's something that I'm passionate about. As I said, I love the one-to-one side of things. If you've seen Tracy and Steph or Helen's story or Alejandro, you'll see all of these stories of people who've worked with me. I don't need to sell this to you. I think the social proof talks for itself. If it's something that you feel is right for you and right now, jump on it, do the VIP, and you're guaranteed results within 30 days. So if you feel that you're not generating enough leads and you're not getting enough sales at this present moment of time, then the VIP Fast Track Academy is that change. It's that shift. It's taking you past that comfort zone and actually getting you to a point where your business is generating what you deserve. So quick recap, we've got online Fast Track videos that we'll also give you in addition as a VIP. So you attend the course, and we've talked about Facebook ads, but you want to be able to dip back and look at how I actually set it up. You can access the online portal, go through the demo. You get the Consort Club membership. So you've got your private Facebook group, 12 months coaching and mentoring, monthly masterclasses covering the top hot topics of digital, 3 free boot camps a year, our dynamic digital marketing live events. We get about 150 people at these events with lots of great guest speakers, including myself. VIP strategy days, so that once you've got so far, you've got your next check-in and you can get your next plan created, because obviously on the 3-day summit, you will get a private VIP with me and preferential seating, and also your VIP dinner if you book it in time. All of the course materials included, lunch, workbooks, etc., and your Chartered Institute marketing certificate. So one thing you can rest assured of is that this is best practice that we're teaching. We're Chartered Institute of Marketing accredited, the world's global largest institute. It's accredited, we get audited every 12 weeks, we're Ofqual regulated, and it means that you can obviously share your success on social media, add it to your LinkedIn profile, whatever. But it's a great addition to CV. This will definitely help you boost your business. It's the unlimited after course support. There's no other training supplier that we know does this, but it's important because we have a huge amount of clients that come back to us. And as I say, first 10 people, you've got your VIP dinner, you've got your one-to-one mentoring with me. Generally, my day rate is £4,999, so £5,000. So you can have a one-to-one mentoring with me, and we will be going through your own specific strategy. Let's have a look here. Okay, so yes, Jan, you will see me in October. Indeed, you will. So there's quite a few of you guys booked on already. Let's have a look. I'm just going to, what I'll do is I'll share in the chat area and also the comments. So you've got your VIP link. So let's see who else we've got questions from today. Okay, so quick question. Is there any additional fees that you need to pay? No, there's no additional fees. The only thing is that obviously if you are deciding that you want to sign up for the CIM diploma, then obviously you need to make sure that you are, you know, really clear on the fact that it's a real world qualification. So let's have a look here. Okay, so if I attend, can I choose the dates? Yes, absolutely. You can change the date that you want to attend. You've got October is the next one, and yes, they're in London and Manchester. So let's have a look from here. Yeah. Okay, yeah. So in terms of you want to enroll, but you've got some questions. Yeah, absolutely. Direct message me and we'll get in touch and we can have a chat. Yeah, in terms of, okay, so payment plan, yes, payment plan's available. You just literally sign up. It will come out every month. Yes, you get a VAT receipt. That will all come straight from, yeah, perfect. Yes, that will come straight from the system. Let's see if we've got anything else that we've got to cover on here. I think most of your questions are answered, but if you think of anything else, obviously there'll be lives within the group that you can join. If you come to the Business Consult Brain, Body and Business group, you can see. One of the quick questions here is, obviously, if I join now, how do I know that I'm guaranteed the dinner? Basically, as soon as you join, you'll get an email and it will book you your slots. You'll know you've got the VIP dinner and you've got your one-to-one mentoring. When does this end? Yeah, it ends on the 1st. So you need to make sure 100% that after that point, this will not appear again. It will literally be your last chance. So if you want to save the £250, that's fine. So obviously the VIP fast track will be around forever. It's not going anywhere, but you need to make sure that if you want to benefit from the discount, you need to do it now. So I'm going to copy the link again into the group so that you've got all of that. And I look forward to seeing you again soon. So I'm going to end the meeting in shortly. Once we've done a Q&A, I'm just going to stay online for a couple of you guys who've got questions. Feel free to ask me anything about your business and any queries that you have. So I'm just posting this back in, that we've got a couple of queries on here. Yeah, I think we've answered most of them. Okay, so I'm putting in the comment field here. There's a link to join. Once you join, what will happen, as I say, you'll get, our team will be in touch. And as soon as our team are in touch with you, then they'll ask you what dates you want. So a couple of people have just asked, can you clarify the pricing? Absolutely. So it's 1497 plus VAT. That includes everything, all of your 3 days. It includes the VIP dinner, 12 months coaching and mentoring, masterclasses and everything. We do not charge any admin. So obviously you can see here, this is 3 times 499 plus VAT. So you're not losing out if you choose to pay, obviously, on a monthly basis. It's the same for everyone. So in terms of, okay, Katie, so you're booked on. Okay, so yes, quite a few of you. How many have we got here? Okay, so we've got 4 who've just booked on for October. A couple are just looking at dates and things so far. So have a look in your diaries, make sure you obviously know when you want to attend. So when you do join, obviously let the team know and they can book you on. Yes, you get all your receipts and everything, and it's accredited by the Chartered Institute of Marketing. So you can see here, we've got over 400 reviews on our website, Business Consort. You can Google us. Here are the main selection, I suppose, of feedback that we've had. These are from the course that we just ran earlier this year in June. So Nicole said, be ready to be a sponge. 3 days gives you an abundance of hugely valuable information and thought-provoking insight. Dawn's passion for and confidence in the strategy she shares is infectious. David, fast track digital marketing course. He went to London. Excellent course, ram-packed with usable information. Eye-opening, practical and understandable. You really can't afford not to attend. Now, these are all verified buyers. You can go and click on them and see who they are. These are absolute people who exist, and you can find them online. All of our social proof is very transparent. Jessica, we've got Fast Track Digital Marketing, really fast-paced, informative course. I had no idea what tools were out there to help in the digital age. Dawn, amazing tutor, explained everything really clearly and extremely knowledgeable. Then we have Mark Frost, simply the best. I like that. Wow, Business Consort digital and social media courses run by Dawn offer exceptional value for both time and money. The courses are delivered at a good pace and provide great ideas for your own business and easy to follow steps on how to best implement the ideas and improve your business. The courses are really enjoyable, and after the course support is excellent. I look forward to attending future courses. Then we have, this is a great way from Carol B to speed up on some of the best social media tools. Found out lots of tips and tricks, and it gave me loads of ideas and types of content to create and what works best, as well as some useful time-saving tools. I'm looking forward to putting this into practice, and I've learned and reaping the rewards. Okay, so we've got a couple more questions that have come through here. Okay, Stephanie, it's incredible to see how far we've come in such a short period of time. VIP Academy has been a game changer for our business. Now to knuckle down and get my tasks done. Let's have a look what else we've got. Facebook groups seem to be interact on them every day or very hour, it seems. Instagram is good. Yeah, so in terms of what tools to use, I would definitely say that for me, it's all about utilizing a platform that you know that your audience hangs out on. In terms of the best platform right now, someone's just asked, for me, I love LinkedIn and I love Facebook. They're kind of like my go-to. I just find that LinkedIn is great in terms of, we generate about 80% of our business through it. I find that the quality of contacts I get through LinkedIn is so solid, and I get a lot of speaking engagements through there. Generally, I would be more likely to meet someone I met on LinkedIn than Facebook face-to-face and work with them. But not to say, you know, like Facebook, we've had, I mean, great partnerships, alliances, and a lot of students that we meet on there. So does this work for B2B and B2C companies? Yeah, absolutely. So the strategies we teach, we're both. We're B2B and B2C. We've got numerous businesses. So for me, I don't just own Business Consort Academy and the agency. I also have other businesses as well, and I use these exact same principles and strategies within them. Let's see what we had from Claire. So, Claire. So yes, we've got a lady who actually attended who is on the live feed at the moment. Yes, so she said, I came away with so many new ideas and useful web tools. I attended the digital marketing course and was thoroughly impressed. Dawn provided a great overview of everything: SEO, blogging, email marketing, and social media. And the interactive approach meant we started looking at ways to improve our company's approach to digital marketing straight away. I came away with so many new ideas and useful web tools that will not only push the company forward, but also make life easier. So the thing is, here we've got obviously to the 1st of October until the Fast Track Academy offer is finished. If you guys want to be the first 10 and come on the VIP dinner on the 2nd day, this is available in London and Manchester dates. So you come along on the Tuesday, you do day 1, which is digital marketing essentials, and then you will do day 2, which is advanced digital marketing, where we really get into the deep dive strategies. And then day 3, which is the digital creative and video marketing workshop. You'll see on the link I've posted there that there's some testimonials you can watch on the landing page. As I say, if you want more information, feel free to direct message me. Let's see if we've got any more questions while we're here. Okay, yeah, answered most of those. Well, guys, I'm going to be online anyway, so thank you for attending. As I say, direct message us if you've got any queries. I think we have, oh, another one, Jolie. You're going to be not sure whether attending Manchester or London, but definitely see you in October. Great webinar. Thank you. Okay, well, thank you, everybody. Thanks for joining. And hopefully I will see you soon on the VIP Fast Track Academy. If you want anything at all, join me in Business Consort, Brain, Body and Business Group, and you can talk to me direct or send me a direct message. If you've got any queries, you can call our office. It's 0800 334 5784. And if you Google Business Consort, you'll see our website, www.digitalandsocialmediaacademy.com. So look forward to meeting you all and seeing some of you guys in terms of your progress within the group. So take care and have a lovely day. Bye now.